But let's begin by going to Revelation 22. And I want to show you the 7 big events. Before we get all mired into these trends, these signs, I want to show you the big things, what I call 7 steps from now to eternity. And these 7 steps are heaven, that's the final, the 7th. And then the great white throne is just before that. The millennium's just before that. The second coming's just before that. The tribulation's just before that. The judgment seat of Christ is just before that. And the rapture is first. So I want to back through these with you, starting in Revelation chapter 21 and verse 1. And then we'll read a little bit in 22 and verse 5. And basically, heaven is God's ultimate goal, to have us there forever worshiping Him. And when I think of heaven, I think as a believer, and by the way, I want to apply each one of these. When you think of heaven, be investing. Okay, heaven is all about investing. Jesus said, when He talked about the future, He said, lay up your treasures where? Okay, that's what we should think about. In fact, you should think, do you have anything there yet? Have you started your automatic direct deposits in heaven? Remember how to do that. Jesus said that what He measures is what you give that cost you something. Remember what Jesus profiled about the widow with her 2 mites is not how much she gave, and not what she gave it to. She just gave it to the Lord. She gave it in the court of the women, probably in one of those receptacles, and it went for a specific relief. But the key was she gave it to God, and it cost her something. And that's what God measures. And the way you do your direct deposit in heaven is, it's not the amount, it's the price that it costs to us. The price of our time, the price of our life poured in, the price of our resources that we give. How much it costs us is what is important to God. But let's be investing and laying up treasures in heaven. And you can start with me in Revelation 21. You just follow along, and I'm going to read to you the first 7 verses of 21 and the first 5 verses of 22. And I want you to just think about heaven. And I just have a big... I highlighted with a big yellow highlighter, this is heaven. Now I saw a new heaven and a new earth. And by the way, there are 2 words for new in the Bible. There's new of a different kind and new of the same kind. And this is new of the same kind. Heaven is not going to have blue grass, green skies, pink water. Okay? It's not like that. God is making it all new of the same kind. That means you're going to recognize in heaven the same features that we were used to here of plants and of the sky and of what water looks like. So it's new of the same kind, heaven, and new of the same kind, earth. For the first heaven, the first earth had passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem. Jerusalem. Isn't that interesting? How Jewish everything is. We have a book that's written by Jewish apostles and prophets. We're going to a Jewish city called Jerusalem. We have Jesus, who is the son of David. I mean, there's such a Jewishness about it. And the gates and the foundations are merging of the New Testament apostles and the Old Testament tribes. And there is the gathering together of the old and the new people of God in this New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. I heard a loud voice from heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle, the tent, the dwelling place of God is with men, and He will dwell with them, and they will be His people, and God will be with them, and be their God, and God will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and there will be no more death, nor sorrow, nor crying. There shall be no more pain, for the former things have passed away. Then He who sat on the throne said, behold, I make all things new. And He said to me, write these words, for they are faithful and true. And He said to me, it is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give of the fountain of the water of life freely to him who thirsts. And he who overcomes shall inherit all things. And I will be his God, and he shall be my son. And slip over to chapter 22, 1 through 5. And He showed me a pure river of the water of life. You notice how all of a sudden it's like the Garden of Eden again. We're in paradise. Paradise restored. Paradise as it shall be forever. Clear as crystal, proceeding from the throne of God and from the Lamb. In the middle of its street and on either side of the river was the tree of life, which bore 12 fruits, each tree yielding its fruit every month. Now be careful, this idea that time shall be no more. There is going to be a sequence of time in heaven. You notice the tree of life is bearing fruit every what? Yeah, it's not like it's a blur in heaven and we're just all sitting on the cloud and, you just lose track of time. There's going to be a sequence. So I don't know how the Lord's going to do it, but it says every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations, and there will be no more curse. But the throne of God and the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him. That's our occupation in heaven. And they shall see his face. Interesting, in the New Testament it says in the Sermon on the Mount, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall what? See God. So only the pure-hearted servants are there. That's a picture of the redeemed. We're his servants. We serve God, and we see his face. And his name shall be on their foreheads, and there shall be no night there. And they need no lamp or light of the sun, for the Lord God gives them light, and they shall reign forever and ever. Heaven. And we should be investing